I have Vikings at 5, one spot ahead of you.
Yeah, but I'm not arguing that. I get it.
And like again, I pointed out prior, like Sam Darnold's a big winner just the last 3 weeks. He hit rock bottom and he came back up.
Facts.
Over 800 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, almost 9 yards an attempt his last 3 games. Like 9 yards an attempt is the threshold of like, that's an explosive quarterback.
That's right.
Throwing downfield. First time in his career, he's come back from a deficit and won a game when trailing in the fourth quarter.
That's right.
First time. Hey, all you need is first. All you need is one.
That's right.
And he's done this against good secondaries. He's done this against the Bears, who have a top 10 defense in the league. Have your opinions on how it's run as a team and the offense. But he's done it against good competition. And that's where like this Lions team is too good. But just how competitive the damn NFC North is insane. 11-1. You have a 1-loss, 2-loss, 3-loss. That's the order for the 3 top teams.
Yeah.
It's the NFC. And then you have the Eagles on the outside looking in. Like the NFC is going to be a gauntlet to get through. The Packers, what they have on both sides of the ball. The Vikings with this defense. The Lions are the Lions. And now the Eagles have been the best team in the NFL lately. Who do you got at 5?
We're in for a real treat for the playoffs for both NFC and AFC. Because I'm going Steelers at 5.
Wow.
And the reason I bring up the AFC playoff race, you and I talked about this bet a while ago, but I don't think it's the worst bet to have the Steelers winning the AFC at 10-1. I really don't. And look, they have that sort of formula where they can kind of beat you in any way you want it. Najee Harris, what they want to do is run the ball down your face with Najee Harris, right? Big plays to Pickens, and then the defense brings it home. That's what they want. And that's the Steelers brand anyways. But from what I'm watching with Russ, man, I mean, like, last week was insane. 400 yards, couple touchies. Like, this guy's unbelievable right now. He's looking like shades of prime Seattle Russ. I couldn't have been more wrong on this. Mike Tomlin deserves all the credit in the world. I think Mike Tomlin deserves Coach of the Year. Like, this is crazy what Russell Wilson is doing in that offense. And this is coming – no one talks about this. The only reason I always bring this up is because how wrong I was. Justin Fields was playing well for that team. Tomlin's like, nope, I want Russ. And I thought it would torpedo them.
You did say, you're like, this can torpedo this season.
I thought it would torpedo this season, and it was absolutely the right move.
Yep.
And it's a reason I bring up how crazy the postseason will be in the NF and the AFC, because the Steelers could absolutely go into Buffalo, go into Kansas City. Maybe they're at home. We don't know anything with these seedings. They could end up the one. I think the Steelers are a bona fide Super Bowl team. They're my 5 seed and climbing. Every week I move them up. They're at 5 now.
It's a Bills or the Chiefs to me out of the AFC.
Bro, if Russell Wilson.
They check the boxes.
Yes.
Defense, run game.
The way he's playing right now.
Win at the line of scrimmage.
The way he's playing currently. Russell Wilson could come into your building and beat you in the playoffs.
Again, keep in mind, though, like his best game of the season.
That was last week.
That was against the Bengals.
Yes.
Bad defense.
But the numbers were insane, George. He put up like video game Madden
400, 3-1.
Insane.
Yeah, nuts. 4 spot for me, Chiefs.
Yeah, same.
I didn't think I would have them outside the top 3. And they're coming off a win against the Raiders.
Same.
Look, they're falling down the power rankings. Their both offensive tackles absolutely stink. Their defense isn't as good as it was last season.
Yeah.
And I've said it, like, I've watched this offense look bad for 17 weeks, 17 games last year, and they won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So I kept saying, I'm like, I saw it last. It wasn't this bad.
Yeah.
And let's face it, too. Antonio Pierce bailed out the Chiefs twice. The first time is he calls a timeout before the 58-yard field goal attempt. And that gives the Chiefs a ball and they're on 48. First off, you're calling a timeout. Dude, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, why are you burning the timeout there? Because then there is still a 2-minute warning left and 2 timeouts. But you call timeout, then you attempt a field goal. Punt the ball. I understand you're on the 40, but punt it and set up Patrick Mahomes inside the 5 or the 10 or the 15 and give him a longer. When Dan Carlson missed on 56 and 55. So at 58 yards, you're like, yeah, let's kick this. It did not make any sense what he was doing.
It didn't.
And again, you go back to such a weird play where the snap came early, but There was a neutral zone in front,
That's right.
or actually a false start. The play should have been blown dead.
Yep.
I don't know. The Raiders bailed the Chiefs out so
did.
hard.
They
They should have
did.
lost this game.
Look, I won't waste a lot of time here because I have the Chiefs 4th as well. The only thing I would maybe add here is just that, man, this team is capable of just flipping a switch. It just is what it is. I hate saying that. It feels like such a lazy take and a cop-out. But I've watched them all year just like all of you have. They literally can flip a switch. It is the ugliest game you've ever seen, and when it's winning time, they win. It's simple as that. Let's do this quickly. Make a mental note when I go through their remaining schedule and tell me how many games they're going to lose out of these. They get the Chargers in Arrowhead. They go to the dog pound against Cleveland. They get the Texans at home. They go to Pittsburgh. And then they end the season in Denver. How many losses?
3.
3 losses?
Chargers.
Yikes. All right.
Chargers, Broncos at the end.
Wow.
And then what was the game? And Pittsburgh. Where's Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, we're going to...
These tackles stink.
They do. If you're right... So the only reason I went there, if
Dude,
you're
if they
right...
lose 3 games, they have 4 losses.
That's what I'm saying.
They bump out to oh, man. And they lose to the Broncos at the end.
Same page. That's why I asked. Because not that they can't go on the road and win. We've seen that. But I think this team in particular would really benefit from being at Arrowhead. And if they have to go on the road the way they're playing, they ain't three-peating.
And a point to the offensive line. Losses against the Chargers, good D-line.
Yeah.
Steelers, great defensive line.
That's
Broncos, great defense all around. A man defense with a great defensive line.
Saying.
There's no flow with this offense at all. We have them both at 4 nuts.
All
right. You have at the 3.
Let's get in the top 3.
I have Bills at 3.
Okay, I have the Eagles at 3. Saquon, dark horse MVP. We talk about it all the time. You were the first to it. This guy, I've been picking against the Eagles all year. What an idiot I am. But one of the reasons I've been doing it is because something still feels off about Jalen Hurts in the pocket in particular. But, man, with Saquon doing what he's doing, it takes the pressure off Jalen Hurts. And he's playing very loose. He is playing well. The Eagles, man, I'm starting to really, and maybe it's because I have this ticket, and I've been nervous all year having a Lions Super Bowl ticket. I'm starting to feel like the damn Eagles are going to win the NFC. And it's all because of Saquon Barkley and that defense.
What's the Eagles' remaining schedule if you're going to say they win the NFC? This is how it has to go. Like, yes, they have the makeup they can.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-loss team.
Yeah.
But I don't see them. I just can't see the Lions faltering. You're pulling up the Eagles schedule?
Yeah.
Let me pull up the Lions schedule. All right, what's the Eagles schedule?
Well, wait, who's your third?
My 3
Lions?
is the Bills.
Oh, you have Bills.
Look, Josh
at
Allen's
3.
dominant. This defense, it's Greg Russo, and it's more than Josh Allen. It's Greg Russo, Teron Johnson,
Sure.
Christian Bedford, Taylor Rapp. Like the D-line coming along, good secondary, what should have been a rebuild.
Yeah.
But they went at the line of scrimmage, and Josh Allen's playing out of his mind. And with him, you can win every game. But this is how highly I think of the Eagles and the Lions. But I want to stick. So you think Eagles can win the NFC?
I think, yeah, of course. What do you mean? I mean, of course they can.
Lions have Green Bay and Buffalo at home.
All right.
I think they beat both those teams. In Chicago, they beat Chicago.
Green Bay and Buffalo.
At San Francisco, warm weather, they win that.
Man.
Versus Minnesota,
You're giving a lot of wins that I don't.
maybe they lose one game and they finish
I don't
15-2.
All right, now the Eagles have a much easier road. Carolina at home. We know how that's going to go. Pittsburgh at home. Coin flip.
Yeah.
Go to Washington. I like Philly.
They win.
Even though I just told you the Commanders are a playoff team, I like Philly in that game. Home against Dallas. We know how that's going to go. Home against the Giants. They could be the 1 seed in the NFC, and I don't think that's a hot take.
Lions. So good
The
point.
Eagles, I'm saying, could be the 1 seed in the NFC.
Now so the Lions playing Green Bay, Buffalo, and Minnesota.
Right.
They can only afford to lose one game.
And they're injured.
Yeah.
Bro. Look, at 2, I have the Lions. I like that they're being tested now. I think that's a good teachable moment, coachable moment for Dan Campbell and his staff. Is like, look, guys, like we are a juggernaut, but this is December. This is January. Like all the chips are going to be on the table here. And we have some injuries. We have some issues. We got to work through this. It's good we're facing some adversity now before we get to the postseason. So I actually like the fact that the Lions are facing a little bit of struggle and being tested now. At the end of the day, though, I do think Philly's going to end up with that 1 seed, and I think it's going to be a problem for Detroit once it comes down to it. But right now I have the Lions too.
I have Philly at 2. It's the way they beat Baltimore. They controlled the game. Their defense played fantastic. It's Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
And then it's their quality wins over good teams. I'm not going to say great, but like how they dominated the Rams,
Sure.
how they outlasted the Commanders. And even like early in the year working through the kinks in this team and how they fluctuated, they were just so dialed in on defense. And Saquon has been so damn good that if you can run the ball, and what they did when beating Baltimore, like no Devontae Smith either, and that like when this team is healthy, I think I've said it before, that the Eagles on paper, that's the most talented roster in the NFL.
You have, yeah.
I think the Eagles have a more talented roster than the Lions.
I
but
agree.
The Lions have just been humming on offense.
Yeah.
And I do trust their quarterback more, which is crazy to say. But this Eagles team is rolling. I have them at 2. You have the Bills at 2.
No.
Who do you have at 2? Detroit.
I have the Lions at 2.
You have the Bills at 1?
I have the Bills at 1.
You sicko.
I think you're missing the ball on this. I think it is so obvious. When I watch all these teams now, particularly, let's just stick with that AFC, because the Lions and Eagles, they'll sort it out. But in the AFC, George, I think you're missing the. I think you have a blind spot. They already beat the Chiefs head-to-head, so let's just table that on the side. Josh Allen's going to be the MVP, even though we both like what Saquon's doing. Josh Allen's the MVP of this league.
Yeah.
James Cook is cooking. I told you this earlier this season when they started winning games, and I was seeing James Cook doing his thing. I was like, they actually finally got a running game now for Josh Allen. Back then, I thought, well, but not having that stud wide receiver or two is going to really catch up with them now, later in the season, is what I was thinking then. You know, when I watch them now, Josh Allen's so damn good, just not having drama at wide receiver is all he needed, really. He has a sustainable, solid running game with home run hitting ability in James Cook. No, drama at wide receiver. It's not the best wide receivers you've ever seen, but if you get open, he's going to get you. Look, they have we saw that snow game. They have a real home field advantage. If that team can get home field throughout this season in these playoffs, they are going to the Super Bowl, and they may win this damn thing. I believe in this Bills team. I think you have a blind spot here. San Francisco looked, lost. And I don't want to hear the injuries. They could have been 100%. They had no shot in that game. Meanwhile, Josh Allen is doing snow angels. The Bills are the real deal. They're my number 1 team. I think this could be their year finally.
They're the number 1 team in the AFC for sure, but they're not the number 1 team in the NFL. It's the NFC. Lions or Eagles.
It's
a Lions for me. They're the best team.
If the Lions have home field in the NFC playoffs, they're going to Super Bowl. I think we agree.
Yeah, and then it's
if
neutral.
the Eagles have home field in the NFC, I'm betting on the Eagles.
Jared Goff can play outdoors now, but I get it, though. The home field matters in Philly and Detroit. Oh, yeah. Home field matters. It swings a game.